Jeez. I ate some Vietnamese food and I hmm, so I ate some Vietnamese food and kind of tight around the waist. Belly kind of big right now. Full. Got that itis. Ooh, boy. Ugh. Like, seriously. Woo, for those people that are coming in, I'm feeling kind of fat right now. You gotta excuse me. Gotta excuse me. Gotta excuse me. I can't. Hold on. I can't. I gotta. Oh, Lord. We'll see. Ugh. I gotta put on my favorite color here. That just won't do it right for my foot. Had the shirt on early, and y'all hear me talking, but y'all don't see me. I'm coming. I will let you know what happens when I get around that corner. Oh gosh. I am here. I'm just letting the people come in, so y'all don't run away. I'm here. Ain't nothing wrong with this with the feed. It's not paused. It's not stuck. I was in the same room. I just had to do a quick wardrobe change. Ah, sorry. Yeah, I had some good Vietnamese food, and I love food, and my belly ain't settled down yet, and so, whoo, I had to take my shirt off and change. All right, so one more minute, and we're just gonna let guys come in here. Let's see. I hope everybody's doing okay today. I want to say hey to everybody. Hey. Say hey to everybody. All right, so that minute has passed. I would like to welcome everybody to Here's Right. And I do apologize if it, God dang it, I always do this. Wait, hold on. Shoot. I might need to stop this. Oh, okay. No, I don't. I am on Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi just has been acting up. Every time it rains here, it sucks. But welcome to Fierce Friday. Fierce Friday, where we talk about possibly some fierce moments of multiple sclerosis. I try my best to fit that category into that title, where it's kind of hard hitting, strong in a sense, versus the informational MS Monday. For the guys that are watching, I do appreciate you coming in and having a sit down so that we can have this lovely discussion today about this so lovely, lovely, heartwarming, huggable disease that we carry. Right? So I have a couple of things going on here. Let's see. Ms. Jones says, I tell everyone I am not ashamed. It's a part of me. Death is what it is. I feel less of a person, but I know I'm stronger because of this disease, says Miss Peel. And you know what, guys? Look, y'all are starting to discuss already. That's what I'm talking about. Woohoo! That's what we're here for. So we are basically talking about deciding whether to tell others I have MS. That is a great part of being diagnosed with anything, cancer, especially AIDS. Heck, even getting a transmitted disease, even though you can get cured from it. It's just the fact that you sitting down and telling somebody, hey, I went to the health department and yeah, I was itching and all that stuff, and I just found out that I got, cause you don't hear what folks judge. And I used to be a person that didn't too much care for somebody judging me, but guess what? I have changed that. I would love for you to judge me, because guess you're judging me shouldn't bother me. Your judging me shouldn't bother me, because it's just your opinion on how you feel about me. And that's something that we as people, it's a hard thing. It's not something that you can easily do, because sometimes, people can be extreme with how they judge. And it's really has something to do with them. And when we realize it's something going on with them and the reason why they feel the need to judge us in the way that they do, because what's going on with us, it makes it a little bit easier on yourself. So that's my thing. Now, judge me when I do something or I don't do something that somebody feels that I should have done in their eyes. Hey, judge me all day. I'm seeing comments up here that I'm not seeing on here. Let's see. Why am I missing some of these? Y'all showing up comments over there, and I'm not getting them over here. Let me refresh my little thing here, because I'm trying to see if I can catch some of the stuff that you guys are saying, but let's see. I'm not sure why, but okay. You guys go ahead and commence with yourselves, and maybe I can come across and I see some things where I don't like this. It's gonna make me mad. Facebook sucks. All right, guys. I'm gonna try my best to follow. Hey, Robert. Hey, I'm gonna need the other phone, because my computer is not working right. My computer's not working right. I need the other phone. It's not working right. Because I'm on and I can't see what folks saying, because your screen is like,
that's all I'm saying.
Whatever. Sorry about that, guys. And I appreciate your patience. I really do. Just give me a second so I can chime up here. But yeah, so it's a hard thing. It is a very hard thing when it comes down to telling a big secret, like having something going on medically with you, because you really don't know how people are going to judge. And that's the sad thing about the whole situation. So I have some bullet points here. Some good bullet points that we can sit and talk about. The first one being, is there ever a good time to tell? The first thing that we want to cross. Once it's out, how do things change? And last but not least, regardless who you tell, keeping it bottled up can have the same effect as not telling anyone at all. So, first, do you guys think there's ever a good time to tell someone? Like, do you have to like set the, like, get like a dinner going on? Do you have to just set the mood in order to tell someone? Or it should be, but it's not. But it should be easy as 1, 2, 3 of you just coming out and saying, hey, I've been diagnosed with this. But it doesn't work like that. So, Ms. Jalissa says she wouldn't tell people when she was working. And that's something that you hear a lot. Jobs and jobs altogether are kind of scarce of these type of diseases. I've just been lucky enough to find jobs where, when at the beginning of filling out the application, they ask, do you need any accommodation? Are you disabled? And when you come across jobs like that, that's a good thing, because once you sign that and they get that information, they actually ask, what are your accommodations? Only thing is you have to get that information from your doctor signed. You let if you have a good doctor. I've had wonderful neurologists where I explain to my neurologist, hey, this is what's going on with me. I want to work. I think I can work, but as you know, it's very tiresome. And the type of job I have is this. What do you think? And they'd be like, you can probably work a couple of hours, get a 15-minute break, work another couple of hours, or a couple of minutes and get a break. That's how my situation was. I worked maybe 1 hour and they want me to break. And work another hour and want me to break. And once that doctor signs off on it and you give them the paper, then it's like, okay, we're going to look over it. I guess we can give you this. They can say nah and say, well, our job just is not the right job for you, so then you can go somewhere else, basically. But being on the job and getting diagnosed, I guess it's two different things. But let's see. Miss Christine said, I do tell people at work, but only close co-workers. Miss Justine said, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. She's gone. Stay safe and strong. Okay. See you later. Thank you for coming. So you really can't sit down and say there's a definite time. It just really depends on who you're around on a daily basis. Knowing that person, knowing that group of people, you'd be very surprised. And you know what? And the thing about that is, what we mess up at is, once we tell, we're not ready for the response that we get. And we can't control that person. We can only hope that once we sit and say, hey, I have this, that they're going to be open arms and say, oh my gosh. Heck, you might get, I'm so sorry. When did it happen? What can I do? But in a case with our situation, a lot of it is, it might start off okay, but maybe a couple of days in it, especially if your symptoms are just hard hitting at the beginning. It's kind of like, whoa, this ain't the same person that I was in love with. This ain't the same friend that I knew for 15 years. This ain't the same person I just met the other day that I think I wanted to get to know. It becomes a hard thing. And we're not ready for that, which brings on our depression, because now we're thinking that what happened to the person that loved me? What happened to the through sickness and health? You'd be very proud. You'll be very surprised when that situation stirs up, how many people run from it. It's easy to say it in front of a preacher, in front of a pastor, in front of the Pope, in front of the judge. It's easy to say it, but when it comes down to it and you see it face to face, that's a total different monster, and a lot of folks aren't ready for that. A lot of folks aren't ready to see that their partner is they're not mobile. They can't do anything. They're not saying that that's right at all, but we have to also look at it in their eyes. And it's hard for us to do because we're the ones hurting. But they do hurt as well, because now that person that they cared about or wanted to be with isn't the same anymore. And so they're having to adjust. Especially the kids. You have a parent that's been there for you for 14 years. You're 14 years old. And all of a sudden, you're getting into sports. Mom, dad can't do anything with us anymore. What the heck is going on? They're frustrated. They're angry. And they're taking it out on you. So, yeah, when is a good time to tell? Is it when you're just down and you're out and you can't do for yourself? That's a hard thing. That is so hard. And only because of who I am, I feel, and this is just my opinion, that it's easier to go ahead and get it out. Matter of fact, maybe once you've been diagnosed, especially if you've been diagnosed by yourself, going and getting some information, research, dig into it. Don't dig into it too deep and get lost, because sometimes that can be scary as well. But, dig into it, get a little information, trying to prepare yourself. If you got a great neurologist, and this is for people that are being diagnosed newly, or even older people that haven't really said anything, because there are you guys out there still that have friends that you talk to that don't even know, and your friends are disgusted with you because you're not the same person anymore, because you don't come out and you don't dance, you don't talk, you don't go to the movies, you don't have girl night. Guys the same way. Can't leave guys out. And hello guys, ladies, gentlemen, kids that are coming in. Miss T says, hi everyone, here had a seizure Sunday and Monday, had to go to the ER in an ambulance. She's home. Has anyone dealt with seizures with MS? Well, not seizures per se, T. I had some early, before I got diagnosed. I had a couple of them. I don't even know if that had anything to do with it or not, but that's common. That's that's actually, if you look that up, seizures are some of the first signs of MS, which it can be signs of other things as well. But if you get diagnosed with MS, a doctor can go back and look at your records. If you've been in the hospital for a couple of times for seizures, they say that. Yeah, see, Paul just said it. Yeah, I've read that a lot myself. And it's frustrating with that, because you don't know when it's coming. If you've had them regularly, you do have a feeling. you get the same feeling. You got diagnosed in 2016 in January. Have you had them before? Like, this is your first one? And while you're answering that for me, we're going to go to the next bulletin. The next bullet. But, we just got to finish talking about, is there a good time to tell? Get a little of your information. Get some information up after being diagnosed. Get it, maybe like a week. Give it a week for you to find out yourself, to let it sink in. No, you're not going to just accept it within the week and just go on your merry way and just go tell everybody. No, it's still going to be hard on you. That's your third. How long in between each other? Trying to multitask here. But, yeah, you're not going to just welcome MS in. But give yourself maybe like a week to transition from what the doctor has diagnosed you with, and do a little research so that when you tell the person close to you, you can give them something. Maybe not a lot, but something. And maybe that person that you're telling is willing to dive in with you, at least at the beginning. Let's see. Paul says seizures, which are the results of abnormal electric discharge in an injured or scarred area of the brain, and fairly uncommon in MS. Their incidents have been estimated at 2 to 5% compared to the estimate of 3% incidence of seizures in the general population. The reason seizures are more common in people with MS is not completely understood. Seizures are classified in two forms: generalized or focal. Yes. It's very common, Jalissa. Not sure why we haven't talked about that with a lot of stuff that we talk about. But yeah, I've heard that a lot, and I had a big one when I was in middle school that scared the crap out of my folks. But all right, so the next bullet point: once it's out, how do things change? Let's see. Oh, wow. Miss Tar says her 13-year-old doesn't want a relationship with her anymore. She raised him, gave him gave her all, and he chose dad and his fiance over her. Wow, she's heartbroken. His father won't encourage him to even text or phone her. He wants her out of their lives like she never existed. Tara, don't never say was. You are a good mom. Yeah, you're just sick. That doesn't mean that you're a bad mom, Tara. No, don't do that. That is not right to yourself. The thing is, when you have someone influencing a child, that child, Jalissa has taught me this about your kids, because I have two kids outside of running around here in Georgia that their mom has alienated me the same way. It was even before I got sick, but it's even worse now. And I'm not saying that they've chosen her over me, but when you're with someone and you're giving them, especially kids, and you're giving kids what they want, He's spoon feeding your child. And when you can spoon feed a child feels and takes that as love. Material things become love. And when that manifests, it's so hard. It's so hard for a person like yourself that might be showing genuine love to them, for that to change, for them to recognize that that's what they need more than someone going out and buying them a toy, going out and buying them a game, giving them money. They don't see that. They can't see it because the world today, you got to have something out. You got to have something. And we ain't talking about love. It's material. Material is way more important now. So, Tar, do not do yourself like that. Guess what? I'm going to give you a hard pill to swallow. As much as you've shown, as just by that little bit that you wrote, how much you love him. But that's his loss. I'm having to learn that. I had to learn that with a couple of my kids. They're not responding to me. They're not talking to me. Hell, what did I do? You know, what did I do? I gave you and I shown you that I care about you, but you will prefer to choose what you think is the greener side of the pasture. If you, and a matter of fact, once you get older and if you don't come back and say, hey, what happened between us? Still, again, it's nothing that you can do about that, sweetheart. And that is so sad. And, you know, but that child is either going to regret because you might happen to pass away before they change their mind and decide to go and look for their mom and ask their mom, what happened? Why didn't we have a great relationship? Was it me? Was it you? Was it dad? Could you tell me what's going on? It's possible that you might pass away before that. And it's not your fault. It's theirs. They chose not to take that step. I can't stand when people do that. I really don't. Paul just shared a link. Is that about the seizures, living well with multiple sclerosis? Oh, telling kids about multiple sclerosis. Oh, okay. Telling your kids about multiple sclerosis. And what? And Tara, you hit that nail on the coffin right when I was telling the next bullet point, which is once it's out, how do things change? So that is a prime example about how things change, especially with the kids. Like I was saying before on the other bullet point about they look and they like, you're not the same person anymore. Why am I going to be around you? You can't do anything for me. You know, kids are very demanding nowadays. And some of it is not because it's not because they're bad kids. Is if you're not doing anything, they're either going to gain weight because they're in front of the TV playing video games. If they're not doing that and they're not in any activities at school, whether it's Boy Scout, debate club, band, basketball, sports, or whatever the case may be, something being active, they're going to be in something they ain't got no business doing. If they're not doing something that I got no business doing, they're stuck in the room. Basically, probably becoming depressed because they might not have any friends. So you got all of that, and so then you see a parent that might be taking you out of that zone of sadness or depression and whatnot to they're not doing it anymore because they're sick. You have some kids that sit there and take care of their parents, that sit there and boost up their parents and make their parents' day, but then you got some kids that just can't handle it. And it's just like adults can't handle it. It's change. I can't take this change. I'm not ready for this change. Now, with kids are born into it, but being married to somebody, you sat up there, you signed an agreement. You signed it during on the dotted line. You signed the contract that said you were going to love me regardless if my leg fell off. If I ain't got the two fingers, one eye, you said that you were going to love me. I can't do it. And it's not funny, but it's funny because that's how people look at it. Like, I can't look at that person anymore. I don't find them attractive. So what does that mean? Does that mean that you were attracted to their outer beauty versus who that person was? Because what's in here doesn't change, regardless if we stop talking. Regardless if we can't move. Regardless if we're having seizures on a constant basis. The only thing that changes is our body-wise. This changes up here due to the effect of MS or someone has Alzheimer's and stuff. But the core of it is you're still the same person. And stuff like that makes me want to cry because how we look at each other, we only value what's out here. It's I had to collect myself for a second. Let me tell you, people are not ready for wow. Paul says the divorce rate for marriages in which the man had MS was as low as 3%, while nearly 21% of the couples in which the woman had MS ended in divorce. It seems some men may not have the same sense of duty women have. And Paul, I actually can say I agree with that. Not because of I would back out. I am the I guess I tend every woman that I've been with, I've taken care of sick and whatnot and all this. I was right there regardless of what happened, flu, cough. I was like in a mouth. And if they pass gas and it didn't smell right, like that chicken. What's wrong with it? Ain't no smell like that before. But Regina says my son is upset with with her because her son is upset with her too because she hasn't bought him a cell phone. Well, mom can't afford it. Yeah. It's hard for us to work, so some things that we're not going to be able to do. Kids are not understanding that. And Paul adds, chronic illness has a harmful effect on marriages. As a study at the University of Michigan found, researchers find that not only did 31% of marriages involve at least one sick parent result in a divorce, but the risk of separation for older couples was higher when the wife was sick rather than the man. Paul, listen. We gonna what you call it? And it's my bad that we haven't like seriously got together like we should, and I apologize on that. I'll make sure this month we got to do something. I got to pick your brain about a couple of things. I'm actually, let me see what I got. One more bulletin, Paul. We talk about it. I might try and pull your tainting food self up here if you're willing to. But yeah, things change. Whether it's on the job, whether it's with friends, whether with family, it's hard. So the last bulletin is bullet point. I don't know why I keep saying bulletin. Bullet point is regardless who you tell, keeping it bottled up can have the same effect as not telling anyone. Seven has frozen? I don't know what you're talking about, Regina. Did you get that? I'm going to say it one more time so it can sink in. Regardless who you tell, keeping it bottled up can have the same effect as not telling anyone. There you go, Paul. Look at you. Y'all be letting Paul just answer all the questions. Paul cheating for y'all. Keeping it bottled up causes stress. Stress makes our disease worse. You hit it right there, Paul, out of the park. It doesn't matter if you know what? Let it be a stranger. Go talk to a stranger. Go outside. Talk to the mailman. Somebody. I'm being for real though. You can't something like this, a disease at this magnitude, you cannot hold it in. You cannot sit and go years and years and years and years and years. There's some people that say I can't tell my job. That's fine too. But long as you're telling somebody, because you have a certain percent of people that got this macho-ness about themselves. And that's all fine and cool, for each his own. But I still feel after a while that catches up. Because what happens is, hopefully this doesn't happen to anyone, but what happens when you get to stage 4? You're not prepared for that. Nobody knows that you had it. Again, if you want to go to cancer, cancer being one of the biggest things that you can sit up here and jump from one thing to another, and you sitting up here, you holding on that important news, and nobody in your family knows, and you come around and the doctor is telling you need to call the folks. You need to bring everybody home. And you got 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Now you're trying to figure out who I'm gonna call and who I'm gonna tell, and then once you tell them, the first thing they're gonna be like, when this happened? What? I've been knowing for 20 years. You done had cancer you've been remission for 20 years, and then it come back. Again, my opinion, I'm not telling nobody to go bust their own bubbles and go out and tell somebody and bad stuff happens. But if you're looking at it like that, having some type of support group, rather than just one person that stays while everybody just jumps ship, is better than not having anyone at all. if you so happen to run everybody off in your family, in your your I can't get this word out, your friend group, all these emphasis, that's sad on their part. Then you need a whole new family, you need a whole new group of friends. Kids are the hardest thing to trade in because you had them. Whether or not you were the sperm donor or you were the incubator, it don't matter. Kids are the hardest to sit and turn away. So Tara, I understand how you're feeling, but for you to feel that you can't tell your family or your friends because you're scared that they're going to run, that they're going to run regardless of any big situation. They're going to turn and tail between their legs, and I'm starting to think about people. If they leave, like you're in your marriage, if they leave when you're sick, they're gonna leave in any big situation, finances, you losing work just losing work and you can't find anything, they're gonna leave. So regardless of who you tell somebody, because keeping it bottled in, like Paul said, is extremely stressful, and that's something that we don't need. And so going back here, looking at a couple of these comments here. Let me say this, guys. I was telling my son that the computer was messing up. It was actual operator error. I went back to the first comment and it wasn't moving, and so I'm sitting up here thinking, why is anything coming down when it actually rolls up? So shoot myself so bad. But let me ask this question, guys. We have we got a couple of minutes left. Does anyone have like a brief story or any concern about telling or not telling? They would like to come up and be a little guest on the show by any chance? While you guys are deciding if you want to come up or not, and anybody's welcome. It's a little late for me to do the phone thing. Heck, I can't even find my phone. But if you want to come up and you're not camera shy, just let me know right quick, and I can try and pull you up and have you on. And for those who are watching, for those that are new, welcome. I am gonna try and have a couple of already made categories these next 3 episodes, so that I can shoot them out and kind of have them out a couple of days beforehand to get you guys ready for it. But this season has started off very well, and I do appreciate you guys. I really totally do. And the discussions that we're having amongst each other is great. I haven't been able to do this by myself, so I want you guys to know that I appreciate you guys more than you appreciate me. You help me with a lot what's going on in my world as well. Let me give kudos to Paul, even though he gets on my nerves. Paul a thumbs up, give Paul some hearts, and give Paul some angry faces. All that's for you, Paul. All that I sent you that's for you. Cause you make me happy, sad, make me laugh. Let's see. I have someone that wants to come up. God dang, Paul. Paul. Paul wants to come up, y'all. I think Paul is I gotta send Paul a gift. I don't know if Facebook's gonna let Paul come up or not, but Paul, make sure you turn your camera. You might have to send a request, Paul, if you don't get it. But I'm trying to bring you up, sir. Well, thank you, Misty. I appreciate it. Oh, why the anger faces? Oh, Paul knows. Paul's like Paul has taken my food away from me. It's not letting you come up, Paul. What you do? I think Paul I'm not sure what happened, Paul. Let me see. Maybe let me try it this way. No answer. Oh. What is trying to add, Paul? Okay. Well, Paul, Facebook says, operator error. See, Chris, you had started being on my, you had been started getting on my good side there, and nah, I don't know, man, Chris. You might end up like Paul, sitting up here talking about operator error. I'm the only one that can say operator error, because I don't want it to seem like it's me, you know, and that's what they say about men. Men don't like the, there you go, Paul. It might be coming up now. You might not need to eat cheese anymore. We're adding Paul on this on the thing, guys. I think it's gonna bring him up. So let me move myself over a little bit. There you go. Hey, Mr. Paul. Hey.
What's up, LaRon? I'll give you my angry face.
Sir, just go back over the bulletins right quick, guys. God damn bullet point. The first thing that we were talking about was is there ever a good time to tell? Second, once it's out, how do things change? Again, last but not least, regardless who you tell, keeping it bottled up can have the same effect as not telling at all. And going back to what Miss T was saying, I don't think a lot of folks do know about the seizure situation and how fairly common that that is in MS. And I actually came across that maybe a couple of months after I got diagnosed, about how many people suffer
have been suffering from seizures.
I read a lot about acute seizures, like seizures that you're having and you don't even realize you're having the seizure. And then it's common like where all of a sudden you're just not there, right? Your family members or whoever's around you's like, hey, LaRon, and you're just like zoned off into nowhere.
I used to have those when I was little.
So that's really what I have read about the seizures. It doesn't seem like it's too much. You know, if you're going to have seizures, you have like maybe a 1% higher risk than somebody without MS, but you are more prone to have a focal seizure, and that's that seizure that you're like just not able to really to not even recognize your surroundings. You know, people will be trying to get your attention or try to, and you wave your hand in front of you, hello, you know, and you're just not there. But I wanted to say, you know, to those people that have family members that aren't supporting them, they're not really family. And I will contest to you that the leader of my MS Society group, Sherry McDonald, her son is probably got to be one of the most outstanding caregivers I've ever seen. You know, Sherry is immobile and she's in a wheelchair, and her son does a lot of things for her, right? She is still the most upbeat and positive person that you'll ever meet. I mean, and she's a cheery person. She takes every day like it is, you know, a new day, a new challenge. And her son is there back behind her, supporting her and making certain that his mom can, you know, function. And so for every family member you don't have that's not going to support you, there is somebody in your family that will do it. And remember, family doesn't have to be blood. Heck, LaRon, you're my family, right? And so you find that person that is going to support you and understand you. And if they don't give a crap to do either one of those things, they're not really your friend. They're not really your family.
Nope.
It's a hard pill to swallow, but disease or not, that's in a number of life situations, right? So MS, cancer, whatever it is, the people that care about you are going to be there and support you regardless of the situation. And so I can attest to that with even employers. My employer supports me. My employer has my back. And they understand what I have gone through, what I go through, what I experience. And they have not turned their back on me for that. You know, and so for everything that you will find out about the negative people, because you're going to come across negative people in your life, regardless of you having MS or not. For every negative person, there is a positive person out there. It really is. And don't waste your time on the negative, because negativity just causes stress, and negativity just causes your disease to progress. Negativity, it's just something that you can't live your life in pity or regret. Whatever you do, don't hold it in. That's the bottom line. I can tell you, speaking from experience for myself, do not hold it in. If it needs to be said, say it.
Yeah.
They might not like you for saying it, but if you hold it in for too long, you will explode.
Well, you know, I think a lot of that also comes from the fact that people don't want to hear the response, and they very emotional. You know, you have the very emotional people. I was that person to where, like I was saying, not wanting to hear that bad side. I used to be that person, so I strayed away from asking, from showing, from telling, because I knew if I didn't get that certain response that I was wanting, I was just going to be broken. And unhappy and I can't function anymore. And now I actually welcome that a little bit more. Yeah, it might sting at the first beginning or whatnot, but then it also tells me and lets me know that that person has feelings as well. And that's what I was saying about you can get mad at the person that's not treating you well or not staying with you. You can get upset. You have all right to get upset. But then at the same token, you also, that's why you just need to walk away from the situation, because if they're not, you rather for them to leave or not be there than to sit and mistreat you, because
That's right.
they can't stand seeing you like that or being around you or trying to figure out why they're still around. You might have to be that bigger person and say, leave.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of us don't want to do, be that person to say, leave, or we feel that regardless of us being treated this way, we need somebody.
Well, remember that fight or flight kicks in with everybody, right? And it certainly kicks in with all of you when you were diagnosed. And the same thing gets kicked in when you tell a family member, hey, I have this disease. Or you tell your friends that, hey, I have this disease, right? They are either going to choose to right there and stand and fight with you, or they are going to run from it, right? And so that's why I linked the article about talking to your children about MS, right? It's something that I certainly was terrified, when I got diagnosed. How do I let people know? Should I let people know? And really, how do you let your children, your child understand this, right? Because you end up with what we saw in there, your children resenting you and things like that. And it's not that maybe they are resenting you as much as they are choosing to run from the situation. And I think that's probably a more appropriate way to look at how a child handles it. An adult is still the same thing, right? But adult has a little bit more of the in their head to know, hey, I shouldn't be doing this, right? You can't really blame that on a child so much, that they're still learning.
Yep. What is it?
Sparkling water. And for those of you trying to give up soda, sparkling water, amazing stuff.
I tried bubbly, and I water, water. See, all right, Paul, man, you're like you one of those survivor dudes I wouldn't mind seeing in the wilderness, because you sit up here drinking sparkling water, man. You're awesome, man. You're like my hero right now.
Hey, it's good stuff. I'm telling you, like I was a soda drinker, right? I was a soda drinker. I mean, I would. And if you ask some of my coworkers, I used to come into the office with like a 140-ounce cup of Dr. Pepper. Okay, And so how do you stop that, right? Well, it's sparkling water, man. It works great. They make it flavored too, but this is just water, That's all it is. It's not flavored or anything. It's not sweetened. It has 0 sugar, 0 sodium, 0 carbs, 0 zeros down the whole thing. Yeah. Well,
Roxanne's sitting up here chiming in with you. Whatever. But this is gonna basically round it up, guys. But you really have to, Paul said it. Kids are a little bit different when it comes down to more or less. I even feel this way of running, because one, they don't want to see, especially if you were an influence or possibly that parent for them. For you to just go down like that, that's something that some kids just can't adjust to. Kind of like you, where your group leader, her child was basically just different, ran to it. You know, was able to just grab and pick up and say, hey, we got this. But then you have those people, those kids, they just can't take it. They can't adjust to it.
Yeah.
And so, and then you have that other parent where it might feed into that, especially when it comes down to divorce or separation. Okay, so I'm going to be this person. And then, so that child just breaks away. And it's unfair. It's unfair to us. It is. And then Tar, if you're still on, you know, if you ever, you know, need to talk or anything, you know, feel free to shoot a DM over, and I would try my best to help. I know a little where you're coming from, and my situation is not because of me being sick, but it's just that nasty other person just playing in on that field. But I totally appreciate that information, Paul. I'm gonna go and click on that as soon as we get off, because, and you guys click on it too. And Paul, if you don't mind, as soon as I hang up from you, if you still got it, can you post it one more time?
Yeah, I'll shoot it to you.
Okay, and put it in the comments again for people that just came up. But guys, we love Paul, even though I can't stand him sometimes. I love him to death. Yeah, but appreciate it, Paul. See you Monday, man.
See you Monday.
If you can watch.
Yeah, I should be around. I try to make it to all your stuff. Sometimes I get stuck working late, but it's a great community here, and it's good for everybody to be involved. I can't tell you how beneficial it is to chat with people that have MS and are going through the same things as you are. So it really is. So kudos to everybody. Thanks for participating and watching LaRon, because he rocks.
Stop kissing up, Paul. I still don't like you right now. All right, man. Love you.
Love you too, man. You have a good one.
All right.
Before I shut it off, guys, there's this they got this little picture in this darn phone, and I thought it was on my wall back there. It kind of scared me, like it was turning black. But I started this program, guys. I am really serious about this little program inside of ICanBeatMS, MS Warrior Trusted Partners. If you feel that you are in need of items, household items like toothbrushes, paddings, or anything, any feminine soap, stuff like that, and it's becoming hard for you to either go out and get it financially or just go out and get it yourself, I am going to put in here give me one second here. All right, that's the email. Hit me up. Let me know what I'm trying to do right now. I'm getting in contact with a couple of churches and whatnot. and seeing if we can get some items to like care packages sent out. So if you're one of those people, or if you are a warrior or know anyone that can also help get some of these things up, feel free to also hit me at that email as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, guys, you do know that the subscribe button is right there. And please, on Facebook, go to ICanBeatMS on YouTube and subscribe. Everybody that's watching right now should be a subscriber of ICanBeatMS, because I do have things that are popping up on there and things that are on there that have not been seen on here that are great, that you can go watch even previous episodes. So you've been missing out. So I don't know why that you ain't on ICanBeatMS YouTube like right now and hit the subscribe button. Like I'm telling folks now, to hit the subscribe button. And here's a previous episode down here. And I really do appreciate you guys. And until Monday, Multiple Sclerosis Monday. Peace. Jadam, love you.